and they put those tunnels in to push sediment out instead of pulling it all the way down and dumping it out at the bottom or the top. They pushed it just right out the side. So you'll see mounds of rocks and sediment below a lot of the holes.
I know it.
They also used them as vantage points to kind of connect the dots, work their way to each other. In 1963, they started letting the reservoir fill up. So they diverted the whole Colorado River to build the dam, and they closed off the diversion, let the reservoir start filling up. It took them 17 years for the reservoir to fill up enough to be able to start using the turbines to create power. Because they're required by law to let out water to the states downriver from them. So they have to let out a certain amount of water.
Fishing here?
Yeah, so there is pretty good fishing in here. Really good trout fishing. So before they constructed the dam, it ran as a wild river. It was really muddy. And once it hit the desert, it got quite warm. So there was different types of fish in here. There was bass and catfish and carp, stuff like that. But when they put the dam in, the reservoir now catches all the silt. So it comes out as a clean river. And it also comes out very cold because of how deep the lake is. And it comes out of the bottom. So it killed off most of the fish species in the river. So they introduced...
Hope you're enjoying it, YouTube. I'm not going to make any comments.
So this water up here that you guys see seeping out of the walls, that's water seeping all the way from Lake Powell through the Navajo sandstone.
Wow.
This Navajo sandstone was created by sand dunes, and it's extremely, extremely brittle. And water seeps through it very easily. If I take one rock of it and put it into a bucket or a cup of water, within a few hours it can be dissolved back in the sand.
With the high dive up there?
What? The high dive?
High dive.
No, so they put that platform out there so supervisors and managers could come out and look off of that and look at the construction of the dam. Years for it to become visible to the human eye, depending on where it's at on the rock cliff, sometimes longer, sometimes shorter. But if it's in an area where the wind and rain hit that rock cliff very often, it won't occur because it's getting eroded away. So it occurs from an oxidation process from the sun on the rock layers. And you'll hear me reference to the desert varnish maybe a few other times throughout the day. It works its way through the Navajo sandstone, through this big crack in the earth that you can see, roughly 2.5 miles all the way from Lake Powell. So the water found a crack in the earth, followed it, and it's now working its way through there. Like I said earlier, this Navajo sandstone is super brittle, especially to water. So that water is still eroding away right now. And in my personal opinion, eventually, it might get bigger and bigger and bigger, but this might be 1,000 or more years from now, and erode away a channel, and the Colorado River diverts itself all the way around the dam. So, Mother Nature sees there's a problem, sees there's something blocking the river, she's trying to fix it. So we were talking about rock falls. There's one that happened right here quite a long time ago, but if you look where looks like an ice cream scooper took the chunk out of the wall. Well, if you look in the water where this ripple is, there's a giant, giant boulder in the water right there. And you can see part of it poking up there. But that boulder, believe it or not, is roughly the size of the bus that you guys came in on.
Oh!
Yep. It's hard to judge size in this place because it's so big. We're right around 900 feet tall in canyon walls right now. So it is just really difficult to judge.
Sorry. I gotta walk around because I don't want anybody's head in the video. It's like all the people's heads are in this video.
Are those holes up there birds' hole nests or?
Yeah, so that we have cliff swallows, and they're just a little bird, and they'll make different nests in the rock. Those holes, I mean, I'm sure some of them nest in them, but they don't make their own holes. They'll nest on ledges or in holes like that. Monk with his hood on, and they're praying. Or it could look like a Jedi Knight, whatever you want to see.
Jabba and a Jedi.
Jedi. Jedi monk.
So he went broke.
There's a
And
lot of them went broke.
I'm glad though, because otherwise, if this was gold rich, they would have mined it and dredged it all out. It wouldn't be the same. To the right, you'll see a channel up in the rock, right above that dead shrub. You'll see the channel that they chiseled into the rock. And they would run dirt and water down that, and it would wash the dirt and water away. But it would. At one time, they had bigger ripples chiseled in that, so the dirt would run over those ripples. The gold's heavy; it would get stuck in there, and that's what they gold mined with. So that's super cool that they made do with what they had, which was the rock. And you don't see that very much. Save what's below there for future generations.
Daddy. Robot.
Whatever. Sure.
You were 200 close friends. All right, now let's get the